and welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Welcome to the 201st episode of Off the Rack. Congratulations, everybody.
All right.
Wow.
201 episodes.
We're done. Is that...
No, we're only just
No,
beginning.
oh.
No, sit the hell back down. After all, you replaced Ethan on this show.
I
so
did.
Originally, the show was just an extension of back issues. We were talking about older books. I was like, we got to stay relevant. We got to be talking about the new books. And so it was just, we would shoot off the rack, and then we would shoot back issues because we're all in one location. When we moved locations, it made sense for us to try and change things up. Also, Ethan didn't have the time, and thankfully you were able to come in, and I think elevated the material a lot more because you actually read the books and want to read them, as opposed to Ethan who's just kind of like, I read them because you told me to, but sometimes I don't have time, and then I just don't.
Yeah.
So, the show has morphed and changed and grown, and I'm just very, very proud of what we put out. So, thank you guys for watching for 201 episodes. And so let's get into it. Today we're talking about X-Men Prime #1, came out last week, and then of course we're going to give you a little bit of a recap of what happened in this issue, and then a full in-depth review, and then afterwards we'll give you our recommendations for books that are coming out this week on Wednesday that you should pick up and read. This is of course written by a whole bunch of people and drawn by even more people. This is written by Mark Guggenheim, Greg Pak, and Cullen Bunn, with art by Ken Lashley, Ibrahim Robertson, Leonard Kirk, and Guillermo Ortego. X-Men Prime #1, for those of you who are interested in going out and picking it up, you're not sure if you should, what happens in this issue is the Storm wants Kitty to lead the X-Men because she thinks she really botched it up. And you can't blame Storm, it was mostly Marvel editorial, it wasn't her fault. But so Kitty comes in, she takes over the X-Men, and they move to Central Park. The end! I mean, that's literally all that happens in this issue.
Yep.
Well,
It's written by 3 different people, drawn by 1,200 artists!
wait, there's like a special mini thing that happens that I was super excited for.
Oh, and what's that?
A certain, long-fingered,
Oh, God.
butt-kicking
I forgot.
mutant shows up.
Yes, they reintroduced Lady Deathstrike.
And gets captured.
Yes. What did you think of X-Men Prime #1? Ben, what'd you think of this issue?
Not much happened, so frankly, I think it was kind of a throwaway. This fact that Kitty comes back, it's nice. Aurora keeps calling her kitten, threw me off
She
every
really
single time.
does it every time.
And consistently kept calling her that, but
Yes.
that's fine. We learned that the original X-Men, Jean, Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, Beast, like from the past, have vamoosed. They set up a little hologram thing over in the Danger Room to trick people, thinking that they were there, but they're gone. So they're probably going to get their own book.
Yes, they are. They're X-Men Blue, I think, or Gold, I don't know.
And now they're going to go into Central Park. It's very bizarre. I don't think the park services in New York will let them do that.
We'll get into that in a minute, because I really have some thoughts about that. Tiffany, what'd you think of X-Men Prime #1?
I get it. I get why they need to do this.
You gotta do a palate cleanser.
That's exactly what this is, because they had Humans Prime #1 and they had X-Men Prime #1. It's a way of parting ways and being like, we're gonna go do our own things now, and like, let's just address the elephant in the room and just be like, okay, yeah, we all know that happened, and now we're gonna go do something else. So like, I get it. I totally understand it. I feel like going forward, if you want to pick up the X-Men titles that are coming out, you probably didn't need to get this. But it was a 4th week in comics, so...
Yeah, slim pickings all around anyway.
It was.
Yeah. I thought this issue was garbage. I don't recommend it. I can't volunteer my money for it. It's not a good issue. It's overblown. It has way too many people working on it for not a lot of payoff. There's all set up that is all going to be retread in either a context page or in the narrative of all the other books. It is completely disposable. It is utterly forgettable. There's nothing good about it.
What brutal things to say about an issue.
That's true.
This is like the second time they've put Storm in a situation where it's just like, what are you doing with this character?
Oh, yeah.
Where like she's married to Black Panther and then that just goes, you know what I mean? Like this time around they were like, no, see, she's fine. And like she's even like going so far as to be like, I can't lead the X-Men right now. Like she's grown.
Right.
So like I kind of felt like they were just trying to fix that.
Yeah. I mean, it felt hollow.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like I should have felt something while reading it, you know, because it harkens back to an older age. I was just reading a funny observation over on the internet, because the internet never forgets. There's this letters page from an old X-Men book that Claremont was writing. And a young buck named Kurt Busiek wrote a letter saying that X-Men is terrible and he'll never read another issue, because he was upset that the X-Men was not about, like, social justice and about like dealing with the problems that the X-Men are kind of metaphors for.
Yeah.
And it's about like superheroes and they're flying around in space. Like his last straw was the Dark Phoenix saga. Like the straw that broke the camel's back for one of the best writers in superhero comics is arguably one of the greatest X-Men stories of all time. And it's because it's about, for him, the X-Men is about like what the X-Men mean and how they parallel humanity and how their stories are an allegory for the human condition. And he's like, you're putting them in colorful costumes and shooting them up into space. They're fighting cosmic gods. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't feel like the X-Men. This feels like that. It feels like they're like, okay, we tried to make it allegorical. We tried to do all these things. Well, how about we just put them in fun costumes and have them fight big, giant robots and bad guys? Like, how about we just go do that for a little while? Because arguably it works.
Yeah.
And of course, because everything's cyclical, like they did the same thing in Astonishing X-Men when Joss Whedon took over.
Right.
The X-Men were tired of dealing with all the injustice and all the infighting and everything, so they decided, like, we're going to do a big public display and become superheroes again.
You know what it seems like? It seems like every time like anyone becomes a leader of it, it's like, well, how will you fall?
Yes, how will you screw it up? And then leave in disgrace.
Look, I'm sorry, you're not bald and in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and even then,
yeah.
dude hasn't been leading that team for a long time.
I'm just saying, that's what, like, they're like,
yeah.
if you're not that...
If you're not Professor X, you're never going to lead this team
We
for
can't
long.
have Professor X lead the team because of everything that's happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, they don't want him to do that because, like, it's... Is he still dead?
He's still dead.
Yeah, that's
well, okay, his brain is within
No.
the Red Skull's body.
No.
And actually, the only X-Men that's working on it is Rogue. She's trying to get it out.
I'm just saying, like, he's been gone for a while, and that's kind of like, my hat off to you,
Oh, yeah.
Marvel, because you have a hard time keeping anybody dead.
No, it's true.
Going back to the book,
Yeah.
one of my favorite moments from... First of all, I think the book had a couple of cute character moments, but, like, it's not a terribly strong issue.
No.
But, like, when Kitty and Colossus...
Meet again.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And she's like, you're my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
like,
you weren't coming back.
No, but
and
he
it
tries...
smells like you.
Yeah, well, he tries to say that it was destroyed when they moved. Like, his room was destroyed. She's like, really? He's like...
No. Niet.
I thought that was kind of
cute.
cute.
It is cute. It's sweet. I like it.
Like
Yeah.
Colossus is just a softie for her.
Yeah.
But my favorite moment from the book is when Lady Deathstrike is on that boat and they're trying to, like, sneak people in.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
she, there's, like, some ruckus going on, and they're like, some of you didn't pay, and then they grab a girl, and you're like, oh. And she eventually just, you know, kicks ass and all
Does
that,
her thing.
right?
Yep.
But then she turns around and she's got her claws out, and she's looking at everybody, and she's like, calm down!
Right. Like,
like,
I'll never calm down if I see a woman shooting blades
like
out of her hands.
2-foot claws coming out of her hands, and she's like, everybody calm down, alright? Nobody's gonna be hurting anybody anymore. And I'm like,
Haven't you seen Edward Scissorhands? Haven't you seen Edward Scissorhands? I'm just gonna do your hair.
Well, but that poor man, he doesn't, like, Lady Deathstrike is a murder weapon.
Yeah, but I imagine she could do some really good styling with those.
but she's like, just
would like
calm
to.
down! I'm like, no.
Never! Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's alright, that's a moment of genuine fun, humor.
Yeah.
And that's when those people turn into mutants themselves because they're under duress.
Yes. I thought that was when they voided their bowels because they were under duress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their superpower.
They're the collective movement. The,
Oh,
can we talk about the art for a minute? Because
that was great.
Thank you. The art is passable. There's nothing that said to me, this sucks, except for the cover. But,
Jubilee looked cool. I couldn't help it.
I don't even
Jubilee
know.
looked awesome, and I was
She
like,
looks great.
that's cool.
Is she still a vampire? Let me know in the comment section down below.
Ben likes Jubilee Mom.
Yeah. Single mom Jubilee. I will say, okay, so, like, they put the mansion in Central Park. You can't just put a building in Central Park.
No, see, you know, this is going to be great. Do you know the number of Law and Order episodes that start with someone going through Central Park and finding a body? That's going to cut down by, like, half.
Oh, yeah, because the X-Men will prevent every murder.
Right?
Are you kidding me? They're gonna find, like, worse situations now.
Oh, look. I mean,
This Toad Man was skewered by adamantium blades.
I kind of feel like the average New Yorker probably doesn't care about
That's,
that.
well, no question about that.
Of course they will. They'll try and, like, vie for a better city for it. My question is, how are they working out utilities? Electricity, sewage, water?
I know.
Storm?
Magic?
Electricity, yes, but sewage and water?
You know,
Yeah.
she can hold the storms.
Maybe
That's
they just...
water.
Maybe they
Water, yes,
teleported
but-
the entire...
They have to crap somewhere.
Yeah.
Where is that gonna go?
And
They're
it
just gonna
can't
throw it
be-
out the back.
Yeah, it can't be all Johnny
Well,
on the spots.
They put it in a big tub, and then Kurt makes it go away.
Oh. That is the definition of a shit job.
Kurt,
Keeping it rolling. Anyway, X-Men Prime #1. If you haven't already checked it out, don't, because you will just pick up the book you want to read that's X-Men related.
Yeah.
Not any time otherwise. Yeah. No recommendations for you guys? You don't want to? Don't think they should buy it?
Oh no, I don't think it's right.
You're just leading the witness here.
I'm sorry, dum.
Look, if you want to pick it up, if you're a huge X-Men fan, pick it up. You know what I mean? Like I said, there are a couple of cute,
there's a couple of cute moments.
But like if you think this is what's going to get you into X-Men, this is not what's going to get you into X-Men.
No, the books that are coming out will do that.
Yeah. I hope. I mean,
if it's going to get you in.
Hoping.
Anyway, let's get into recommendations for books that are coming out this week that you can check out. We'll wrap up the show. This week I got 2 books, and there's no surprise about either of them. It's Batman #20 and Superman #20, the first of which is, of course, written by Tom King with art by David Finch. Wraps up I Am Bane. It's going to be cool, maybe? This book is kind of a Trojan horse of cool / deceptive cool, where you think it's going to be cool. I know that sounded like it was going to turn into an evil robot, but stay with me. It seems like it's going to be cool, and then it turns out to be, like, not very good. And it's kind of deceptive in its tactics because it shows you a lot of cool things. That said, I kind of dug the last issue, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all culminates. Plus, once it's over, we get into the button, so check that out. And of course, Superman #20, written, of course, by Peter J. Tomasi with art by Patrick Gleason. Looks great. It's a new rebirth for Superman. It's the fallout from the Mixius Pitlick reveal and retcon, where we merge New 52 Superman and pre-Flashpoint Superman and see this new brave world that this rebirthed Superman is entering into. So check those out, because I will be, and I'm looking forward to talking about them with you.
Regardless of things that may or may not have been said by Marvel editorial and all that, I'm going to recommend Champions #7, not for any particular reason other than I like the story. This time they're going to be going against the Freelancers, who actually we got to see kind of debut, quote unquote, in one of the Monsters Unleashed tie-ins with the Champions, and that was a lot of fun. So I don't know, I like this series, I like this team, I think they're a lot of fun, so I'm still recommending it, I'm still going to be reading it. And then, of course, over in my land of indie, from Image, Extremity #2 is coming out this week. That's written by Daniel Warren Johnson with art by Daniel Warren Johnson. And this book, I read the first one, I thought it was really cool. They're calling it like this Mad Max, Studio Ghibli-esque story all rolled into one. The first issue, it was brutal, it was crazy, the art is intense. It's really kind of neat. It's about a girl who, her family is like this cool warrior tribe, and she used to be an incredible artist, and that was part of like what she did in the tribe. And then during a raid, she not only lost her mother, but she also lost her hand with which she used to draw. So it's just kind of going through that, and it's a story of revenge, and just crazy stuff's happening. There's also like cool, crazy, spacey kind of things going on too. I don't know. I'm looking forward to where it's going. Also from Image, they're getting a new #1, and this is by Jason Latour with art by Greg Hinkle. They've both worked on a couple of things. We're also getting the colorist from Wicked and Divine, and that book's gorgeous. It's Black Cloud #1, and I gotta tell you, it stars a character named Zelda, so that's cool. It involves the world of dreams, and essentially how people in this world can buy pieces of those dreams, and I was like, that's kind of neat. I'll at least pick up that #1.
Hey, so if you're a big fan of X-Men this week, then you're in luck, because X-Men Gold #1 is coming out, and guess what? You have 10 variant covers! I'm sorry, what, 10? Marvel, you're putting all your eggs in that basket. Since you're going full hog into the X-Men, I'm not going to recommend that. I'm actually going to recommend Royals #1. That's right, the Inhumans book. And why? Because they're off in space. This is written by Al Ewing with art by John Boy Myers, I believe. And the crazy thing about it is that John Boy does some pretty good art when you're talking about like actual poster-sized images, when you're looking at like really good setups. So I think that and the cosmic setting that they're going to go in is cool. Plus, if this story continues, maybe the Inhumans will stay out in space and have their own adventures over there somewhere. You know, we can have like Earth with the mutants, and it'll be like as it was, you know, that warm fuzzy feeling in your chest when the two didn't, you know, intermingle all the time. So that's my recommendation.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us while we talked about X-Men Prime #1, gave you our little recap / review of the issue, and of course, thanks for sticking around for 201 episodes. Woo!
Yay!
We did it! So if you want to check out the other previous 200 and whatever episodes, go check it out. There's a link somewhere for the playlist. You can check it out and watch them. But from all of us here at ComicPOP, we'll see you guys next week with another episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Keep on reading.
You didn't cheer.
I didn't cheer.
I didn't get a cheer out of that guy.
Harumph! Wait, that's not a cheer.
You watch your ass.